I've been a professional thumbnail designer for 3 years now, and today I'm going to show you how you can make this type of Mr. Beast thumbnail. Let's start off with a simple image of Mr. Beast from a screenshot of one of his thumbnails. We need to modify the body a bit using this hoodie I found online. So I stretched it to match Mr. Beast's pose, and creating a layer mask, I maxed out the neck of the guy that was there before. Then we're going to darken this hoodie from yellow to black by using hue and level saturation layers. Let's move on to the sign he's holding. I drew a simple rectangle using the shape tool and overlaid a paper texture on top of that. I then brightened it to add more contrast to retain that bit of texture, but not too much. I made a text layer with the font I found online, and then added some contact shadows and highlights to blend the scene together more, keeping in mind the direction of light on Mr. Beast. I added his hand so he's holding the sign, and then clipped out the thumb with a mask. I fixed it with some camera raw filter and added some more contact shadows. Now let's get to the background. Started by adding a sky, then a rectangle for the ground, and overlaid some textures I got from texturelabs.com, which you should definitely check out, by the way. And then I brightened it up to make it look more like some concrete. Turned up the contrast to retain some details as usual. For the building, I drew these rectangles in place and placed this brick texture over the walls. I didn't stretch it all out at once to make sure that there was no repetition, because that's just how buildings are in real life. Then added some shadows so it looked more like a building. And of course, when adding shadows, you always have to think about the direction of light. Now, for this part of the building, I borrowed the concrete texture we used for the ground, and I applied some hue and saturation to it to make it brown, and added some more shadows underneath. On the new document, I drew a bunch of rectangles as an outline and gave them a bunch of Mr. Beast colors. I added some shadows to the edge of the doors, that's this black shape layer, and gave the rectangles a glass finish. I added this text that says open, and then made the colors pop more using some more hue and saturation. I added some reflections in the door to really sell the glass finish, because that's how it is in real life. And I did this by overlaying a picture of a random street and just turning the opacity down, and added these door handles to finish up the door. Back to our original document, I imported the door and placed it on top of the building layer. For the sign at the top of the building, another new document, and I drew some simple shapes to represent the outline of the sign with perspective in mind, and added some more contact shadows. I put in some text and embossed it with some drop shadow, and did the same for the Mr. Beast logo, but I painted over the logo with an exposure layer to indicate the direction of the light. I then imported the sign onto our original document and placed it in front of whatever this thing is. I retouched it by turning up the brightness, toning down the vibrance a bit to cool the image. Then added a patch of grass for some detail, and with that, done with this Mr. Beast thumbnail. Let me know what you think in the comments, like, subscribe, bye. Follow my Twitter, by the way. Thank you for editing the video, you know what I'm saying? Khalifa, shout out.